Hey guys, Zelonius here. Welcome to another video on the channel. In today's video, we are doing a tier list where we rank the very best players in the game. Not just midfielders, attackers or defenders. We're ranking all of them in one big tier list for players that could make the best teams in the game. Are you fed up of getting out-teamed on FIFA? Want that God squad that you've always dreamed of? Check out MMOEXP and use code ZEL at checkout for a 5% discount. Check out the link below. MMOEXP, the best place to buy coins. Hey there, so like I said, in this video we are going to be looking at the very best players in the game and we are going to be trying to rank them as well as we can. So all these players in these tier lists I think were A or S tier for their respective positions. So Kimmich, for example, was an A-tier midfielder. Capdeville was an A-tier defender. All the team of the years were basically S-tiers for their positions. In this video, some of these cards are going to be C or D tier, but that is purely on the basis all of these cards. This video is based on the very best teams in the game. So to be ranked very high in this, you have to be creme de la creme, the absolute best. Anybody who has made this video is an amazing player on FIFA 23. So even if someone's a D tier, they are very, very good. Anyone A or S tier is like an absolute god special player on this game. So this is going to be a very harsh list, but that's just the way it has to be when we're doing something like this. So we're going to start off with Neymar. Neymar's Foot Centurions card, 5-star, 5-star. I always talk about the cards as if they're on full chemistry and what the boost is, because chemistry matters. Neymar gets crazy pace, pretty good passing, decent shot, but that shot power's not great. Insane on the ball. Neymar's strengths basically great finishing, rapid, insane on the ball, and 5-star, 5-star. However, his passing and physicality are quite below a lot of the top players on the game. So for me, in this level of list, Neymar is going B tier. Like I say, anyone in this video is going to be amazing. You have to remember that. Kevin De Bruyne's Winter Wildcard. So this one, the problem with this card is it's just too slow. You could go Hunter, depending on what type of role you want to play. But this Kevin De Bruyne is instantly going to be put quite a bit lower based on his pace. His defending's quite low. No 5-star skills. Not that that's essential, really. His passing, shooting, physicality are insane. He's a little bit clunky for these top-level players and a bit slow. So we're putting this one C. Griezmann. 5-star, 5-star. Good shot, but not elite long shot and shot power. Pretty good passing ball, not elite. Very solid physical, but not amazing. Bit small, which isn't always great for players in terms of like, he doesn't really benefit from the heading stats. I'm going for Griezmann. He's going to be top end B tier for me. Tomori. Like I say, we're probably going to end up getting some people being salty with this list, but I think that a lot of people are just going to comment on this video and say, oh, how can this player be C or D tier? But they've just not listened to the justification for it, but I'm ready for it. This one here, Tomori, one of the fastest centre-backs in the game. Good on the ball, that agility bounce. Elite defending. Pretty good physical, but not elite. Not the best passing, but good weak foot. He's a bit small, Tomori, but he's rapid and elite defending, so I'm going to put him A tier. Hakimi is going to go S tier. Like, he's the best right-back in the game. Any right back effectively is going to be an S tier if they're the best in the game. If you're the best in the game in your position, you have to be S tier. Haaland, he's going A tier for me. Haaland right now, whilst he's amazing, he does not have a 5-star. No 5-star for an attacker to be like the best. Not all the S tiers are the best. There's going to be more than 2 attackers in there. But if you want to be the absolute best attacker tier list in the game when it comes to this type of video, I don't think you can have the weaknesses Haaland does. He's going to be a little bit clunky. His passing, long passing, so his chip throughs aren't really great. No 5-stars, but he's right at the top of that. Modric is a card that I've actually been using quite a bit. I packed him. I like him, but he's a little bit lightweight. His defending doesn't stand out. He's insane going forward, but no 5-stars. A bit lightweight. I'm putting Modric again in A tier. Toni Kroos. 5-star, 5-star. Not the best on the ball. Bit slow at this point, especially for this level. Good shot. Great passing. I think, like, compared to that De Bruyne, He's a bit quicker. He's got 5-star skills as well, but De Bruyne's better across the board. So De Bruyne has much better physical, but Kroos has the skill moves, a bit more pace, and a lot better defending. So I think they're fairly similar cards. Kevin De Bruyne, his team of the year. If you compare it to Modric, it's pretty similar, except for De Bruyne just has that weak foot and a bit more physicality about him. I think that's enough to elevate him to the S tier. Van Dijk's probably the best centre-back in the game, so we're putting him right up there. Cancelo with a shadow, absolutely rapid, great on the ball, great passing, pretty good defending, but that physical really hurts Cancelo. His versatility being right back, left back's really good, but the lack of the lack of physicality and not elite defending awareness and a bit smaller than some of the other fullbacks in terms of just body type in game, I think is putting him B tier for me. Messi's going to be S tier. You're probably thinking, well, you just said Zell. Haaland's 4-star, so how can Messi be S tier? Well, if we look at Lionel Messi, as a cam or left winger, I'm more thinking about him as a left winger. He's basically got 99 pace. He's about, he is the best player in the game on the ball. His strength's very good, which matters a lot more than aggression. He's the best passer in the game on his strong foot, and he's got 99 shooting. Haaland, compared to Messi, is way more clunky and not as good passing. Whilst he has the physical, Haaland can only really play centrally. Messi's just a bit better overall in my opinion. But Messi won't be at the top end of that S tier. Mane. Very good card, but doesn't get to the high 90s on the dribbling other than the agility. Passing's a little bit lower down. Shooting's good, but some are at the low 90s. I'm going to put Mane in this B tier category. Theo Hernandez, best left back in the game, so he's going up here. Jude Bellingham. I think he's basically De Bruyne, but a little bit better. He's a bit quicker, bit better on the ball with that agility balance, better defending, better physicality. I'd take that over De Bruyne's 5-star weak foot. Prime Zidane. Now, Prime Zidane compared to someone like that De Bruyne, a bit worse on the physicality, I think. His defending's pretty similar. To be fair, he has more strength than De Bruyne, I think. They're pretty similar cards, except for Zidane's got the skill moves, which slightly elevates him for me. Mbappe, he's probably the best attacker in the game with R9 and Pele, so we're putting him there. Valverde. You'd probably put an anchor on this Valverde or an engine. I'd maybe say engine, to be fair. An engine fixes that pass and makes him pretty good on the ball. Ridiculously fast, not the best shooting. He is 4-star in this card though. Great defending, great physicality. He was already top tier. I'm going to be putting him probably top end B tier. Carlos Alberto. I don't think at this point in the game, now we've got centre-backs who are a lot faster, you really want to put the smaller players like him at centre-back. Whilst he'll be great, I prefer the big guys who just have a bit more. As an out-and-out right-back though, he's brilliant, but he's not quite Hakimi in terms of the overall aspect, so he goes A tier. These are harsh, but at the end of the day, he's not as good as that guy, and it's not even that close. If a card's not even that close to the best in his position, I don't think he can be the same tier. Cantona. Cantona for me, good, but he's going to be a little clunky with that agility, balance, and big body. Passing's good, but not insane. No 5-star weak for. I'm putting him in that A tier. He's probably around Haaland. Haaland has more juiced up stats, but Cantona has the skill moves. Cruyff. I'm going to put Cruyff probably bottom end of S tier. Cruyff is 5'5". He's basically Neymar. I think Neymar maybe is a little harsh. Neymar could probably go bottom A tier because he has his own animations. He's basically Neymar, but with more physicality and better all-round stats, to be honest. So that's what puts him here. Ginola, I think, is top end A tier. I don't think he has juicy enough stats anymore to be in the S tier for this type of video, but he's still very, very good. Compared to like Cruyff, Cruyff's just miles better on the ball for me, which makes up for the lack of physicality, and he's a bit better on the technical stats. Pele up here with Mbappe. Now Vieira for me, this will probably be a controversial one. I don't love players like Vieira on FIFA 23. Whilst he's very, very good, I much prefer midfielders who can do a bit of everything. And while there's now midfielders who have good physicality, are quick, better skill moves, weak foot, I honestly don't love this type of Vieira. Maybe as a centre-back, this Vieira is like S tier. But in terms of the midfield, I would honestly put him around here. I don't like him more than a Valverde, who's way faster, got better passing. That's just me. In this game, I don't think that Vieira's that much better than any of these guys, really. Maldini. Maldini is probably bottom end S tier. Eusebio. Now, Eusebio's lack of 5-star skill moves and not the juiced up stats across the board that some of the others have. It's going to hurt him a bit. Like Messi, you'll probably say, well, he has 5-star weak foot. Messi doesn't. Messi also is a bit better on the shooting, miles better on the passing, and quite a bit better on the ball. That is enough to push him above. He's around here. Garrincha, I'm going to go B tier. I think Garrincha, very good, but not quite juicy enough stats across the board. Dalglish, we're going to go C tier. He's basically a much worse Eusebio. Jairzinho, top end A tier. I don't think he quite gets into the, basically any of these cards could pretty much get into any team in the game. I don't think Jairzinho does with all the other options at attacker. Sami Eto'o, I think he's around here. Compared to like a Griezmann, he's better stats, but Griezmann just has that skill moves as well. Figo would be bottom end of B. Butragueño is pretty similar to Dalglish. Ballack, let's look at Ballack. Now, Ballack compared to Vieira is a bit slower and doesn't excel in the defending side of things as much as Vieira does. He doesn't have the body type that Vieira does either, but he's 4-4 better going forward. But Ballack is going towards the D tier. Great card still, but not up there. R9, I'm putting him as the best in the game. I think that's fair enough. Cafu going up here with Carlos Alberto. Like I say, I think the gap between him, Alberto, and Hakimi is too big to put them in the same tier. David Beckham. Really, really good card, but massively overpriced. As an attacking centre mid, though, will be one of the very, very best in the game. Insane pace, great shot, great passing. Really, really good all-round card. The defending physicality is not the best. For me, though, he's like borderline S tier. But I just don't think he's quite got what like a De Bruyne has. De Bruyne's defending's a lot better. De Bruyne's physical's a lot better. The better weak foot. So I think that holds him back a bit. Pires, pretty similar to like a Figo card. So we're putting him around the same bit. Actually, I'm going to put Pires C tier. He doesn't have the shot power and physicalities of like a Figo. Perlo. Good card, but not the best defensively. Honestly, at this level, maybe a bit below average pace. Pretty bad physical, but insane technically. So he still makes his place in this video at C. Yaya Toure, I'm going to put in the B tier. For me, Yaya Toure, I just think he's good. But the problem with Yaya Toure is he's a bit clunky, bit slow at this point, not amazing defensively. I don't love Yaya Toure on this game. Capdevila, I'm putting in the B tier. Capdevila's card's good, but when we compare him to the absolute best fullbacks, the problem you're going to have is no results found. Oh, there was. So Capdevila, you're getting really good pace, but his passing's not the best. He's really bad on the ball compared to the top-end fullbacks. His physical's not great. A lot of people really love this card and die by this card and say he's amazing. He's not worth 700k. Dribbling, physical, and passing are just so far off the top fullbacks without and weak foot. I agree he's very good, but I don't think he can go really any higher than here, and he's probably at the bottom end of this. Ronaldinho, S tier. He's going to be right up here in this team. I'd rather have him than Cruyff. I just don't think he's quite up there with Pele and Mbappe R9. Ibrahimovic, one of the most overpriced cards in the game, but he is an absolute animal. You probably need engine to make him a bit less clunky. He's fast, got a very good shot, 5-star, 4-star, very solid passing, elite physical, good on the ball. He's basically like Cantona though, so I'm putting him around here, but Haaland is better than those two. Chiellini, underrated card. Only really got much attention with Bale as an attacking centre mid. Look at these stats: 5-star weak foot, solid physical. If you compared him to team near De Bruyne, the stats are not crazy different. The main difference would be the passing and high-end dribbling stats. I'm not trying to say he's as good as De Bruyne, but his physicals are pretty similar. He's got the same skill as weak foot. He's quicker. His shot's not a mile off. Like, this Chiellini is very, very good. I'm putting him bottom end B tier. I prefer him to Kroos, Pirlo, that De Bruyne. Vidic, been using him recently. Honestly, he was a little bit disappointing compared to what I expected, but he's still a really good card. He's basically a less juiced version of the team than Van Dijk and a bit smaller. I'm putting him at the bottom end A tier. I prefer Tomori to him personally. Now, Verratti, this is an underrated card again in my opinion. One of my favourite cards I've used this year. He's insanely quick. I think in midfield acceleration matters a lot more as well than sprint speed. He's amazing on the ball. He's got that 5-star weak foot. He feels good defensively because he's fast, gets in and got good aggression. He can ping it on both feet with his elite passing. Not the best going forward, but he excels enough in other areas that I'm going to put him around the A tier. He's not miles worse than Luka Modric for me. I've used both. I use both of them right now in my team. Modric feels a little better, but I don't think there's a massive gap. Ismaili wasn't supposed to be in this video. I don't know how I've accidentally put him in here, so we're going to put him in the D tier. My wife's just texting me, so I'm just going to respond to her. Okay, there. Hullet, obvious S tier. He is the best midfielder in the game, in my opinion, so we're going to put him right up here. Zanetti is an interesting one. I am going to place Zanetti in this video as a midfielder rather than a fullback. As a centre mid, no skill moves, but very good weak foot, rapid for a midfielder. Not the best on the ball, but ridiculous defending, pretty solid physical. I don't care about jumping for a midfielder. His passing's great. I think he's pretty comparable with like a Verratti. He excels a bit more in some other ways, but yeah, pretty cracked. Lucio, despise playing against this card. For me, he's the second best centre-back after third best centre-back after Van Dijk and Militao now, so we're putting him up here. Alawiran, he's kind of not what he was at one point. He is just a pace merchant out wide. Ain't the worst thing to be. He's still a very good card, so we're going to put him in the B tier as a left winger. Gerd Muller, C tier. Good card, but doesn't excel enough. Actually, I'm probably going to put him D tier. He probably doesn't excel enough in enough areas, and he's a bit weird. Gomez, bit worse than Griezmann, I find, especially with that physical, so we're going to put him around there. Ribery, C tier, bit clunky compared to these two, not as good overall stats. Benzema's centre mid. What's happened there? Benzema's centre mid card, very, very good. Lacks a bit, like, in terms of overall brilliance with some of the other midfielders, but I still think he's around here. Paul Pogba. I remember when I compared Benzema, it was pretty similar. I'm going to have Pogba top end of B tier. Varane. Not going to work. Yeah. Varane, really like this card, but he wasn't quite as good as Tomori when I used him. There's a decent gap, so he's going there. Kimmich, C tier around here. Kimpembe, another very good centre-back, very comparable to Varane, so I'm going to have him there. Mendy, he probably is that tier below the top fullback, so we're having him in the A tier. Trent, I'm going to go around where Capdevere is. I think they're fairly comparable. Capdevere's a bit better defensive, feels a bit stronger, but Trent, better weak foot, better going forward. And Kunku, top end A tier. As an attacker, he's top end A tier. As a midfielder, he borderline is S tier, so you do have to bear that in mind. Rio, I'm putting around C tier. I don't think he's quite as good as some of these. Ramos, I prefer him to Rio. Plays better in game, in my opinion. Ramos, I've got him and Vidic. I think they're pretty similar. I'll put Ramos there. Benzema, I'm putting low end S tier. His stats are so juiced. Compared to Haaland, that weak foot's really nice as well. Bale, we are going to be having Bale, I would say, probably B tier. His stats are really, really good. He feels very good in game. I've used him quite a bit now. Really like him. Di Maria's very similar ability to me. Plays a bit different to Bale, obviously. But in terms of the card, he's basically like Bale, but less clunky. Not quite as good in terms of the physicality and power, but does have the skill moves. Lacazette, Very good card, but probably going D tier. But the fact, like I say, any D tier card in this video is amazing. Koulibaly, similar to these guys that goes here. Davies, probably a B tier, I would say. I'm actually going to go C tier. His defending at this point of the game is pretty poor. He's great going forward, but in a lot of teams, that ain't going to be enough. Vinny, very good card on this FIFA. Lacks some of the technical stats of the top end cards to be that close to S tier, but I think he scrapes into this tier. Then Eden Militao, definite S tier with Van Dijk. Honestly, I think this list I've maybe had to be a bit brutal, but any card in this video is amazing. Any card in this video, if you have it in your team, is going to be doing a very good job for you. The S tier team, like my best team in the game, if I was playing like 4-3-2-1, would be probably R9, Mbappe, Pele front three, Hullet, Bellingham, Zidane midfield, Hakimi, Van Dijk, Militao, and Theo Hernandez with maybe like a Van der Sar. But you could swap any of those for like Lucio Maldini, and any of these cards around here can be swapped in and around really. Once you get to B tier, I think probably I'm going to put Verratti there actually, because Verratti isn't quite at the level of some of these cards in there. I think once you start dropping below Vinny, I think all these cards here in the A tier are a level above these guys. Once you drop from A to B, you start getting away from the very, very best. C and D, they're borderline getting into top teams, but they are still very good cards. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope you like the idea behind it. I appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate the support on the channel lately. It's been amazing. Keep it spicy. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.